Hello, you are tuning in to the Black Political Buzz Network. My name is Laurel, and I am the host, vlogger, and blogger responsible for the Black Political Buzz Network. Thank you for tuning in. On today's video, I'll be speaking on the topic of ISIL versus President Obama's timid foreign policy agenda. Again, the topic of today's video is entitled ISIL, ISIL versus President Obama's timid foreign policy agenda. Now, today is May 16th, the year 2015. And today on all of the major networks, on all the major news networks, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, online, New York Times, Washington Post, all of the major news organizations and networks, it was reported that the United States military, that the U.S. military took out or killed one of ISIL's top field commanders. This commander was supposedly responsible for all of the oil fields in Syria and Iraq that ISIL, which is an affiliate of Al-Qaeda, this ISIL commander that the United States military reportedly killed was responsible or was in charge of all of the oil fields that ISIL had taken over or stolen in the countries of Iraq, Syria, in the Middle East. Okay, all the oil fields that ISIL had captured and was, holding hostage. This commander that the United States military killed or supposedly killed, that was reported on May 16th today, 2015, on all the major networks. Okay, that's who this individual was. Okay, now, and they also said that he was killed, this ISIL commander killed, and then also his wife was taken hostage by the United States military. So, of course, this made major headlines today, May 16th, 2015. Now, who is this news going to help? Everybody may think this is a great victory equivalent to when Osama Bin Laden was killed, but it's not. Because furthermore, we don't really know who this person was that the mainstream media is reporting that the U.S. military killed and whose wife they claim that we captured. We don't know who this man really was. We're just going by information that came from the Obama administration, reported to the mainstream media, and they gulped it up for the headlines and the ratings. Come on. It's all about the ratings and the advertisers and the sponsors. It's not about truth. It's not about investigative reporting. It's about how much the bigger ratings draws in the largest advertising sponsorship bucks, dollars. That's what it's about. So we don't really know who this person was that the Obama administration told the mainstream media to tell us that they had taken out, had killed, and whose wife they claimed they captured. We don't know. We don't know. Okay? We've never seen Osama Bin Laden. We've never seen images of Osama Bin Laden's dead body. We just go by what we're told. We just go by what we are told. We've never seen images of this Osama Bin Laden's dead body. We don't know. Now, eventually, we have to I accept the fact that perhaps there was Osama Bin Laden that was killed in 2010. Or was it May 2011? It was either May 2010 or May 2011. It was definitely before the President Obama's re-election, second term re-election. But anyway, who is this news going to help? Is it going to make the United States military look stronger? Is it going to make the American people feel safer? Or is it going to save the political careers of U.S. Senators John McCain and Lindsey Graham, and protect President Obama's legacy as it relates to foreign policy? Let's evaluate the situation. President Obama's administration, whom I used to trust, I used to have a great deal of trust in President Obama's administration. I repeat, Laurel of Black Political Buzz Network, I used to have a great deal of trust in President Obama's administration until I learned that his administration was given the green light to local police departments in the United States and allowing them and assisting them financially to kill black people, especially black men, on American soil. Unarmed black men and boys on American soil for basically no reason. Just to feed into a political agenda, which is that the police unions had donated millions and millions of dollars to President Obama's campaigns and to the Democrats and the Senate and to their campaigns for re-election. So when I learned that to be the truth, and it is the truth, then that's when I lost trust. That's when I lost trust. Now you may still trust him, but that's when I lost trust in President Obama's administration. Because that's wrong. That's wrong. To throw an entire race or ethnic group under the bus like that for politics, power, and money. Now back to ISIL. Back to ISIL. Who is this news that that this supposedly top field commander of ISIL being killed and his wife being captured by the United States military? Who is that going to help? President Obama's administration, Lindsey Graham and John McCain drastically reduced Department of Defense spending. They cut the budget for our soldiers and troops to be properly trained and to remain ready at all times. They cut that funding so drastically that our soldiers are now lacking in a lot of areas of training, preparation, proper equipment. You can't win wars just by drones. Drones alone don't win wars. Drones are good weapons to use in warfare, but then you can't win a war just on drones and computer technology. Sometimes boots on the ground are necessary. Now, I am not a war hawk. I don't love war. I'm not a war hawk. But I know that sometimes physical boots on the ground are necessary to win a conflict, especially when you're dealing with terrorists. Because the United States, our policy has always been we do not negotiate with terrorists until this administration came along. That terrorist negotiation part, that went out the window. We now have a new policy that the U.S. does negotiate with terrorists. And we give them what they want. And we cut our military. We reduce our military because we have a president who thinks that our military was just too powerful. So who is this news today about this so-called ISIL top field commander being killed and his wife being captured and held hostage by the United States military? Who is that going to help? Is it going to help our military? Is President Obama does he have our military's back? I repeat, the question again is, does the Obama administration have our military's back? when you cut billions of dollars from our military, I'm not speaking of defense contractors. I'm not referring to defense contractors. You know, I'm referring to our troops being properly trained, remaining in a state of readiness, and preparation for combat when necessary. When you cut those dollars for that kind of training and preparation, and when our equipment, our military equipment is falling apart, and money that's meant for our troops to remain in a state of readiness and preparation is being given away to junk, like windmills and other kind of mess like that, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's not going to make our nation safer. So, putting out news reports that the United States military took out one of the so-called top ISIL field commanders, we don't know who that person was. We really don't know. That's just what we're being told. You have the United States military out there running behind humanitarian missions, getting killed on humanitarian missions instead of going to the Middle East to take care of ISIL. And you can't do everything by drones. So yes, has President Obama's foreign policy agenda appeared to be timid? Only by design. Only by design. President Obama is not a timid man. Barack Obama Jr. is not a timid person. But his foreign policy for this nation has appeared to be timid. Appeared to be timid. By design, intentionally. So I'm not going to jump up and down and say, yay! The U.S. military took out one of ISIL's top field commanders, because I don't even know who the person was that they killed. I don't know who that person was. All I'm just saying is that President Obama, please stop cutting money from the Department of Defense. You cannot win all conflicts via drones and computer technology. There are times when boots on the ground are necessary. I'm not saying go to war haphazardly. I am not suggesting we go to war haphazardly, but there are times when boots on the ground are necessary. And our troops must remain in a state of preparation and readiness for any conflict. And our troops are not being trained to just run all over the world to take care of humanitarian aid missions. Yes, we as us being the greatest nation on earth, America being the greatest nation on earth, yes, we do have a big heart. We have a big heart, and we want to help other countries and nations who need us. But our military is not just here to run all over the world for humanitarian aid missions. That's not what our soldiers are going to, be trained for. And there's nothing wrong with war when it's necessary. There's nothing wrong with war when it's necessary. But you can't win every conflict from a drone and a computer and a computer keyboard. Please take that into consideration. And please support our troops. Not just in words only, but also in dollars and cents. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, please continue to pray for our military and our vets. Keep our military and our vets in your prayers. President Obama, please support our troops. Not just in words only, but also in dollars and cents. And please up your game on the foreign policy for this nation. God bless America. Goodbye.